didn't put it in. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Plum Crazy Adventure evening. What's this?
That was me waving.
Okay. Hello, everybody. We're going to give everyone a few seconds to come in because I forgot to do the countdown before I started. My bad. Oopsies. So let a few people get in here, make sure that everything is working correctly because we were not on last week because we were at a day out with Thomas, which was so much fun.
Yeah.
And thank you, everybody, for being understanding of the fact that we were not live last week. We were driving in the mountains of Pennsylvania heading home because it was out in Strasburg. So if we had tried to go live, it wouldn't have lasted very long.
No.
So
You've seen us for like a couple minutes and that's it.
Yep. So we're just letting a few people come in. It does look as though things are working. And so real quick, just want to say thank you to everybody. And thank you to our 688 subscribers that we have. Oh my gosh, that's insane. Hello, my fellow Pittsburghers, Planespotter 25. Hello. Thank you for joining us over there on YouTube. I appreciate it. And then thank you to the 177 views on our Day Out with Thomas video that I put out. Did not expect to have that many views that quickly. I knew I was going to get a few extra because Nick has been watching it quite a bit. But
yeah, I think he's in there watching it right now.
Yeah. He probably accounts for 50 of those. So Thank you to those of you that did take the time out of your day to watch that. We had a really good time, and it was a lot of fun for many reasons, but also we got a new camera. We bit the bullet and got a DJI Osmo Pocket 3, and it's a cool little camera. It's going to take a little getting used to because we have been using our iPhones with microphones and gimbal and stuff for the past couple of years. So not having anything that bulky definitely took some getting used to.
Yeah, it was so light that I didn't know what to do with it, So and it fit in one pocket. So it was just very nice to be able to have something compact to be able to use. So
yes. So I think we will end up really enjoying it. But like anything, you got to get used to it and have to tweak some things so that you know what you're doing with it.
Definitely.
Super excited. Now, as you can see, our live this weekend is going to be a little bit could be touchy for some. I do ask up front, everybody, please be respectful in comments and sharing and such, because we are going to be talking about our youngest son, Nick, his autism diagnosis, and what that looks like for us for when we travel with him, and some tips and tricks that may help you and your family. For those of you that do not know, because I haven't formally announced it in a lot of places yet, but this is the kind of the direction that we're wanting our business to go, is helping our families that have neurospicy kids. Maybe they've got some special needs, even adults that need some things a little bit. Sorry, late doing a Sam's order online. No problem. Thanks for joining us, Deb.
You're just getting here and just in time.
Yeah. So we're really wanting to be able to help those families that need the extra support in order to be able to go and explore this amazing world, because it really is. I know we're in that Disney era right now with Nick, but we've got a lot of things on the horizon that we're doing, and we want to make sure that we're getting all of you out there to experience it too.
Yep, so, definitely.
The very first thing that I want to do, as I said, traveling with autism, a lot of that is going to be centered around planes, because I feel like that's the biggest trigger that a lot of people face when they're thinking about going and traveling with somebody with ASD or another neurodivergent disorder. But first, I really wanted to express autism spectrum disorder, ASD, as I'll probably call it most of the evening. It affects 1 in 59 kids in the USA. That is 3.5 million Americans that have some form of ASD.
Yeah.
That is a really, really shocking statistic that I had no idea.
That number is bigger than I thought.
Yeah. I mean, we're a 1 in 4 family. And honestly, I mean, there's probably some things there that could have been diagnosed, but I mean, even our adult boys are 20, 22, and 25, that it wasn't a thing back then to diagnose unless there was really something off.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. Or even myself, I know I tend to have ADHD tendencies, so, and OCD tendencies, very much so.
Yes, very much.
So I'm sure he gets it from me a little bit in my side of the family, but that's not a laying blame kind of thing. It's the more that we learn, the more we're kind of looking at ourselves and like, ooh, okay.
I used to do a lot.
I used to do that a lot.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the more that we sit and learn, and the more we study, and the more we work with Nick, and the more we go to therapies and different things like that,
talking to other parents and
it's amazing,
medical professionals.
It's amazing just how much I'm seeing, so much things that I used to do, so many things like my cousins used to do, family members. I mean, it's just amazing to see the comparison of what is going on, and not even knowing what it was, and now we're starting to figure more and more of it out. So
yes, and I think that that's so brilliant and amazing, and you don't have to have any of the things with, and yet you still have the symptoms. Maybe you have an intense fear of flying. This is something I can help you with. Maybe it is you are just one of those people, you like having step-by-step instructions. I am one of those people. I like to know point A, point B, point C, point D, like everything.
All the way
Dad
to
is listening. I love it. Thank you, Mike. So I am one of those people. So it's something like what I handle is very helpful for when other people do it for me.
Yep.
So as you can see, and I'm sorry, I cut off poor Noah's head. We have been traveling for years, and that is actually hi, Kitty Kathy. So the photo on the left is the older boy's first flight all the way back in 2011.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, and then Nick's first flight all the way back in 2017. He was a December baby, so he was about 6 months old in this photo, and they were offering him up to Miss T-Rex at Pittsburgh Airport. They decided they were done with their baby brother already. We hadn't even started the trip yet. And then another photo, Scott and Nick looking out the window. That was actually also, that was in 2018. That was his first long trip, only long trip that we've done, because we went out to Vegas to do the Grand Canyon and Southern California.
Well, I look a lot thinner in that photo.
Yeah, well, we all look a lot thinner. Got to get back to that.
Yep.
But I wanted to show these to you because we really have been traveling with Nick since infancy, and I think that that is a big reason why he is such a good traveler.
Yeah.
But we do have some tips and tricks and things because we've noticed little things that we've started to do subconsciously. Just, I mean, as being parents, okay, this is what he likes, so this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
So. Now, one of the things I would highly recommend, I can send this guide to you if you would like, or we can, or you can go to autismspeaks.org. Deb made it onto YouTube. Yay. So taking an airplane, a guide for people with autism. So this is a very, very broken down version of what it is like to go onto an airplane. It is a PDF book. It shows photos, step-by-step instructions on the things that you're going to do. And so a couple of the things that we like to do is whenever we know we're going to be going somewhere with Nick, we start talking about it. For instance, we have been asking him for a couple of months now.
Yeah.
Are you excited about going on a cruise ship? Nope. It's funny. And it's because he thinks that he's not actually going on the ship with us. He thinks that we're going on it and he has to stay home.
Yeah.
But once he gets on it, I think he's really going to enjoy it. But we talk to him about it. We go through videos and we do different activities and stuff so that he's kind of comfortable and open to the idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least he knows exactly what's going to happen and where we're going.
Yeah.
The locations that we're going, what we're going to do at those locations.
Yeah.
I know it may seem a little monotonous, but
repetition is key for Nick.
Yeah.
I know that's not for everybody,
right?
But the more that we do things with repetition, the more comfortable he is, and the easier it is for us to experience it and have a good time,
Right.
rather than him having a potential meltdown. Which at this point, he's 7, but he's a million feet tall, so not really. I just measured him. He's 51 and a half inches tall. I'm like, where's my baby going?
Up.
But it's starting to look more and more like a temper tantrums and things like that, which can be potentially embarrassing when people don't know what it is. They're like, oh, they don't parent their kid. No, it's a meltdown because he's been overstimulated. So, but anyway, got off on a tangent. So that's one thing that we do. Another thing that we do, and I wish I had taken a photo of, I don't have it. Okay. So another thing that we do is we make sure that we're going, like I said, through any kind of videos and such. Now, this is something that you can do that will help us actually, is if you are a nervous flyer or anything like that, or you need to know what your resort's going to look like. We do a bunch of videos that are very in-depth, and part of it's because of Nick. We like to be able to show him these videos and go, okay, this is what we're going to see. This is what we're going to do. Even though he's done it before, I mean, he last flew back in March, so that's 6-7 months ago, and so it's nice to give him that little refresher. And then we were at the airport in June, so I mean that's only 3 going on 4 months ago that we were at the airport, and we are very fortunate with our Pittsburgh International Airport that they do a familiarization tour. If you have somebody with you that is a nervous flyer, ASD, neurospicy, worried about stress or anxiety levels of any sort. I mean, maybe you have a heart and blood pressure condition, you know?
Maybe you're in a wheelchair.
Yeah. Take advantage of these familiarization tours, because what they'll do is they will have a person from the airport will take you through, show you everything that you need to know as far as dropping off your bags and where you need to go for that, which counter, who you need to talk to, which line to get into for TSA, going through TSA and that entire process, which is gold, because that is my biggest stressor. Kitty Kathy, those are for adults at the Pittsburgh airport as well. Yes. So, and it can be a group of, I think, up to 8 people right now.
Yep.
You're going to have to check your individual airports, however, because I know not every single airport offers it. I can only speak for Pittsburgh right now. But once you're through security, then they're going to take you over to Presley's Place so that you can see it's basically their autism center that has different kinds of chairs, and it has tunnels that light up, and there's like these bubble tubes and things. Check out this June 2024 update video. That's the thumbnail. You're going to be able to see all of that in that video, because Nick and I explore all of that together. It's very, very cool. They'll also show you where the restaurants are. If you know which gate you're going to be going out of, they will take you to where your gate is going to be. So take advantage of those familiarization tours. I think that they are gold.
Yeah. And the best thing is also going out to the airport like the week prior to it and just driving around the airport, just going in and parking and figuring out the parking and stuff, because it really helps calm that oh my gosh, what do I do? What do I do? Scenario in your head all the time.
Right.
I don't know how many times, even I know we've been out there a million times, but it's good to go back out and refresh ourselves, especially with all the construction going on, because we're not really sure what's going on with the roads, if they're going to be different, if there's going to be lane changes.
Are we going to be able to get into the lot that we're used to parking in? Yeah.
And, and then when you get there, are you going to be able to get through the gangway, not gangway, but the people mover, and get up through there? I mean, is a lot of that shut down, or are you going to have to walk all of that? So then you're going to have to figure out more time to be able, because if that's not running, then you have to walk, which adds more time to your day. So
right. And I actually have another tip for this too. So parking a lot of times can be highly stressful, because like as the adult, okay, as the parents or whatever it may be, the driver, you're stressed out because, oh my gosh, I have to find a parking space. What am I going to do?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and you're finding that. So you are high stress already.
Yeah.
Which then your ASD individual tends to feed off of. Nick is the most empathetic person I've ever met. If I am stressed out, he is the most stressed out kid I have ever met in my life. And I feel bad because he's feeding off of my emotions. So I've learned to try to really harness that as much as I can. That's be a whole other topic. But my point being, okay, if there's multiples of you, what we will do is Scott will actually drop us off at departures with any bags that we may need to check. Or even if we're just carrying our backpacks and such, I'll take like 2 or 3 of our backpacks and everything so that I have everything. Nick is with me. We find a nice quiet area to sit down and people watch for a little bit while Scott goes and parks the car and then rides the people movers, you like to call it, in and meets us. And there's 2 reasons for that. Number 1, the parking can be very stressful. And then 2, Nick absolutely refuses to walk on those. And so that stresses me out more than you could ever imagine. Come on, let's go. I am that person that has to be at my gate 2 hours beforehand, not the airport, the gate.
And it doesn't help the fact that you're hearing the luggage is coming up behind you, just rolling up through there because people are literally just running.
Right. And so that's something that we know about with Nick. And that so whenever we're like, okay, this is how we handle it. And so that's a good recommendation for you. Another thing that you can do now, Nick tends to be pretty easygoing as far as this goes, but if your kid is high stress in the mornings, high stress at night, like easily cranky, has to have naps, whatever it might be, make sure that you are booking those flights per what's going to work for your child, your person, as opposed to what you think will work for your schedule. Now, I will be the first to say that when Scott and I tend to book our vacations and stuff, we are early flights on the way out and we are late flights on the way home. We want to maximize our time while we are there. However, that doesn't work for everybody. Don't be afraid to book that 1 o'clock in the afternoon flight so that you are leaving the house at 9:30, 10 o'clock, getting where you need to, getting parked, getting in there. And your day is your travel day. You
got to do what makes you feel comfortable enough to be able to take your vacation and have it stress-free. So
Exactly. Now, the other thing that we do, and things have changed a little bit throughout our adventures, and I'm laughing because I have a very, and you can't see it, you just see Scott's. So we have learned that there are certain things that we have to do in order to make sure that we have a smooth flight. Number 1, as you can see on the far right, he has his blanket. We take his blanket on every trip with us. It is a comfort thing for him. He also has some sort of a stuffy. Right there you can see it's a Velociraptor from Universal.
Oh, yeah, it is, isn't it?
I have a feeling when we leave this week, it's going to be his Oogie Boogie. We will be lucky if Jack and Sally do not go too. And sometimes you have to just, like, you know what, it is what it is, and we're just going with it, you know. We also make sure that he has his headphones charged and that we have things downloaded onto his tablet for him to either play or watch. We really pay attention to the things that he is interested in at that point in time, and then that is what we make sure that we have downloaded for him so that he can watch it over and over again. So, for instance, at some point this week, I will be downloading Nightmare Before Christmas onto his tablet so that he can watch that all the way through while we're in flight.
And it's not because we're weird parents, but he actually loves the movie. I don't know what it is.
He is obsessed, and I am not mad about it.
No, I'm not either. It's funny because now I cannot get that song.
Hi, Kim. How are you tonight?
Hi, Kim. Yeah, he has watched it so much because he knows he's getting ready to go trick or treating at Disney next week. So he's very excited about that, and he gets to be Oogie Boogie. For dressing up, and I'm going to be Jack Skellington, and you're going to be Sally.
Thank you. You said it right.
I've been practicing.
So yeah, we're very excited about it.
Yeah.
Now, a couple of other things that you should do when you're traveling by plane. Make sure that you have some of your kid-approved snacks available. So, in the past, we have made sure that I need to make sure a caveat, make sure that it's TSA approved also. So whether it is goldfish that's in snack packs, we've done that. We've done applesauce before, but you have to be careful with that because it's considered a liquid, so it has to be in the TSA approved, yada yada. But you get my point. Make sure that whatever you have is something that they can snack on, that is approved by them, because you don't know if they're going to eat anything that is available on the plane.
And that's going through TSA. Now, if you were to purchase the stuff on the other side of TSA, that's completely fine because all of those are going to be ready to go. They're airworthy.
Yes.
Little tip and a little advice: don't ever put any pop or juice or anything into like your little sports bottles that has the fold down lid type things with the straws. Because when you pop that open at 30,000 feet, guess what? It's pressurized.
We've had water go everywhere.
Oh,
before.
we had
Thank God
juice.
It was water.
We had that. Remember,
I remember the juice.
That was a very sticky flight back from Orlando because I ended up with Hawaiian punch all over me.
Yeah.
So just keep in mind, if you're going to drink something like that, cautiously open up the bottle, let off the pressure, and then start drinking it through.
Yes.
Once you get up in the air.
Yes.
And even when you go back down,
it will still do it.
It will still do it. So just be prepared. Because that's another one of those things. If you're like me, I can't have dirty hands. I can't be sticky.
Which gives me my next tip. Always make sure that you are traveling with wipes of some sort and hand sanitizer.
Yep.
TSA is not going to argue with you having a packet of wipes and hand sanitizer. So you be fruity. He was very fruity.
I was very fruity on that.
And more than one way.
Yeah. It was not fun.
Now, other things that could be triggers for your kiddo. You're going to know this way better than I am ever going to know. I can give you my suggestions and my recommendations based off of how Nick handles things, but that does not mean that what I'm saying is like the golden standard by any stretch.
Wipes for the win. I like that.
Wipes for the win, yes. So the very first thing is whether it's a cruise or a hotel or whatever it might be, elevators tend to be a very big trigger. They're not for Nick, but this is something that a lot of people are like, ooh, like I need to be on a first floor because they're terrified of elevators, or they don't like going up and down stairs because, I mean, they get tired easily. So that is something I need to know up front because I can make requests and I can do my best to make sure that we get you in a room where it's going to be around everything that you need. Also, with that in mind, if you have a child or somebody that needs quiet, I can request that we make sure that we have you in a quiet space of a hotel or a cruise ship or a resort, whether it is at the end of a hallway, so you're only sharing a wall with one person. Maybe you have an individual that has a really hard time sleeping. Thank God that is not Nick. He's the only one that we have trouble with sleeping. And I'll take him over Nick any day. Sorry, honey. But maybe they need to have their own room. So I need to know that to make sure that I can accommodate you for adjoining rooms. Okay. And making sure that we have the tools ready to go so that they can't exit that adjoining room. So things of that nature. Now, Universal Orlando Resort is really great for that because their kids suites are generally two separate bedrooms, and the kids suite you walk into and walk back out of from the main bedroom. You cannot access the outside from that kids suite. So that makes it very convenient and nice for this particular situation. Another thing is maybe your individual is terrified of heights or gets very stressed out very easily over any magnitude of reasons. Like, for instance, the one in the middle, that is of me on Wonder of the Seas. And those are the water slides above me. And that was giving me so much anxiety just thinking about the fact that there are clear acrylic and you can look down 10 stories, 8 stories, something like that.
Like that. Yeah, you can see actually on the right-hand side of the photo, right above Megan's head.
There's somebody in it.
There's literally somebody in that tube right there. And yeah, no, I'll do it. I mean, I'm a little bit afraid of heights and stuff, but I'll still do it.
I don't like
anyway.
water slides to begin with. I'm not a water
I didn't used to be, but now that we started the channel, I became like a water slide fiend. But anyway.
Yeah. And then on the far right photo, that is our most recent adventure. If you haven't seen our video yet, you need to do that on YouTube of our day out with Thomas. But noisy. I mean, those things were very noisy. There was a lot of smoke to go along with that coal burning steam engine. And so that was something that we were not exactly prepared for. And we had to adjust on the fly. So we now know for future, make sure that we're in the middle of the train or that we're in a train that has the windows
closed and has the air conditioning on. So that way you don't have to smell the fumes and everything else. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it was, as you can see in the video that we put up, that you can see the smoke come through, and it was, you noticed it pretty quick. But
it was, I don't want to say alarming, but I was shocked, for lack of a better term, at how much there was. So those are just a few things that I want you guys to think about, so that when you reach out to me about your vacations, like, okay, these are the XYZs of like, what can you do to help me? These are our problem areas. Go.
Go. Fix it.
And part of the reason why I want you to talk to me is because I feel like everybody should have the opportunity to enjoy fantastic views like this. This is actually Flamingo Beach, which is part of the Renaissance Hotel in Aruba. So I want you guys to be, like my kid is obsessed with flamingos. I want to take him so that he can see the flamingos. Okay. And Nick is one of those that's obsessed with flamingos. He counts them every time we go to the zoo. So if we went here, he would be counting them up and telling me how many and then trying to pet them. So now, other things like, again, look at that beach. I mean, this happens to be a Sandals Resort, which I realize is adults only, but they also offer beaches resorts as well, which are kid friendly.
With views exactly like this.
Yes. That perfectly blue, clear turquoise water that you are not getting when you're going to Ocean City, Maryland, or Virginia Beach, or Hilton Head even. I mean, the sand is nice, but it's not that clear and it's not that beautiful.
Nope. And not that calm.
And I want you guys to be able to enjoy it. Yeah. And that's another thing too. Like Nick, I mean, he will play in the surf, but he doesn't go out very far because he's afraid of it. Being able to take him to water like this, I'm so excited about us being in the Bahamas because I want to see if we can like get him like out and enjoying the water rather than having a total meltdown because he's convinced that it's going to kill him because it tries to knock him over, which is a valid fear. Like, just putting that out there. That's a valid fear.
Well, I mean, how many times have we been in the ocean and we've been trying to like body surf and stuff on our little boogie boards, and we've literally had our butts handed to us by a couple waves. I mean,
torn rotator cuff for you. So.
I got a torn rotator cuff from it. So, I mean, it's, it's scary. And even for an adult, I still look at it and I'm like, oh, I want to go out there and do it. But then it's like, I'm just not really sure I want to have that much pain again, because it hurt.
It does hurt. It hurts a lot. Another one, I think everybody, this is Christmas, not Christmas Day. This is just Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party evening at Walt Disney World Resort Magic Kingdom.
And that's Snope.
It's Snope. It's snowing on Main Street, USA. I feel like anybody that is the least bit of a Disney fan needs to be able to do this at least once in their life.
You got to at least do it one time. If the kids are young, you got to experience it once.
There is magic here that I cannot explain to you.
Yeah, it's something you have to experience yourself.
Mardi Gras at Universal gives me that same feeling. The Boo to You parade at Mickey's Halloween party is another one. Like, I can't explain it, but this is one of those things where I'm like, okay, yeah, your kid needs routine, or they are very specific on foods. Like, you have to be really careful with what foods they eat, because they just won't eat a lot of things. And that's Nick, I'm always checking to see what restaurants have available. What is he going to eat here? Sometimes it's just French fries. But I want you guys to be able to take your kids and do these amazing, incredible experiences. And last photo.
Sorry. I look up and I see our kid with Mickey ears on and he's dancing.
Yes, he heard us talking about the House of Mouse. But most importantly, I want you guys to all be able to go and experience things as a family, because nothing breaks my heart more than when it's like, oh, we went with our older kids, or we did this, or we did that, which is great because you get that bonding time. But then, like, okay, like, it's not fair to always send little Joe to grandma's house because you guys are going to an all-inclusive in Mexico. Let's find an all-inclusive in Mexico that's going to work for little Joe's needs. Like, this photo is why I do what I do, and I continue to do what I do. I have many others, but they are client photos, and I don't feel privileged to share. But this is our own little family unit, and being able to have these memories and experiences for our family, and then facilitating that for others is why we do what we do, and why we're moving in this direction.
So. Well, I guess it's 8:01 now, so I think we've covered everything for the evening. And now, guys, just keep in mind that next Sunday we will not be going live, as we will be at sea. And the following Sunday we will not be going live, as we will be coming home. But the following after that, 3 weeks from now,
we will be chatting up a storm about our trip. So be prepared for at least an hour live for that one.
Yeah, that's going to be a long, long conversation, because we're going to have a lot to talk about the cruise ship, the new videos that are going to be coming out, going swimming with the pigs.
We're doing that Saturday.
Going to Coco Cay. Coco Key.
It's spelled like K, but it's pronounced Key.
I'll get it straight someday. Anyway, and then we're going to go to Disney, and then we're going to go trick-or-treating with Mickey, and I cannot wait for that. We're going to go around the world at Epcot, do some food and wine, and then we've got some other things. I'm not really sure what else we're going to do, but we are going to have a lot of things to bring to you guys over the next few weeks. So
really hoping for a little bit of time at the Tampa Zoo. We will not be doing a video for that one because we were there last year.
And it all depends on what the hurricane does. It's coming up through.
That too. And then we will hopefully get to spend an afternoon or an evening at City Walk because I want you guys to see the Epic Universe diorama. Hey, there's the train.
Hey.
And go have some yummy food somewhere.
That sounds awesome to me. I love food.
Right?
Maybe that's why I'm getting too big.
Well, moderation. We haven't figured out the moderation part.
Yeah, I know. Oh, wow.
So anyway.
I'm not fat. I'm fluffy.
So guys, just want to say thank you all so much for joining us this evening. And I hope that this video was informative and has helped you guys out. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that bell notification button on our YouTube channel so that you see when we upload new videos. I'm going to try very hard to make sure that Disney Wish video is out before we leave Thursday.
I've got people waiting to watch that.
I know. Well, it's a lot.
I know.
I don't think you guys realize just how much material I got on the Wish.
Well, that's okay.
It's a lot. So very excited about that. Hoping to get that out. Also follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Make sure that you are have followed us on Instagram because I will be putting up things on our stories. My Facebook doesn't always work correctly for stories, so sometimes it has to be manually input, and so it'll go onto Instagram, but it won't go over onto Facebook like it's supposed to. So if you want to know what we're doing, don't want to say in the moment, but I'll be posting up some daily things stories wise over the next week while we're away. Definitely check that out.
Yep. Well, guys, we're getting out of here because unbelievable, but we've got packing to do. So,
Yes.
and we will talk to you guys here in about 3 weeks. And like Megan said, follow us on all of our socials, and we'll see you then. And as always, guys, are you ready for your next plum crazy adventure?
Because we are ready to get you there.
We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye, everyone.